hide me that. And, politicians, the problem, democracy is great, right? The US has proven that democracy can work. But the problem with democracy, because everything has pros and cons, the problem with democracy is that politicians have a great incentive to offer, to give away the treasury.
Yes.
So if I say, no, I'm going to keep the treasury, it's because we might need it, for an emergency or something. Nobody would like that. People would like, oh, I'm going to give away the treasury. So they would vote for him. Then another politician will, you know what, I'm going to give the treasury plus another treasury. So we're going to go into debt, right? Everybody will say, great, let's receive more money from the treasury. And when I say treasury, I mean, anything, building stuff, giving free stuff, sending checks to people.
COVID relief.
Yeah, exactly. Getting, a stimulus, whatever. So the politicians have the incentives of, just giving away the treasury and entering huge amounts of debt. And that doesn't not only destroys the structure of the government, but it also destroys the structure of society. Because if you give, for example, money, okay, if you don't work, I give you money, right? Or if you can shoplift $1,000 a day and still get some money from the government for food, housing, why would you work in that store with shoplifted and probably get in trouble, right? So the incentives are wrong, but it's not only because, maybe they are, but I'm not going to go into conspiracy theories, but it's not only because there are evil politicians or evil people planning everything, which might be the case, but I won't go into that. But just because things, the incentives are wrong.
Yes.
So even a normal, not evil politician has the incentive to give away the treasury because he needs the votes. He needs to be elected. That's what he needs, right? He needs the votes.
It's the nature of the system.
Yes, it's the nature of the system. So the problem is that democracy works. Nobody can say it doesn't because it worked in the United States, right? But if you don't give maintenance to the system, it will fall like the wall if you don't give maintenance to it. Because the same system will degrade itself. So what you're having right now is a huge erosion of Western civilization. So we have governments pandering to their bases, to their ideology because they mobilize the vote or whatever, looking at what will happen in the election, what we can do to get more votes in the election. I don't want to get into U.S. politics because it's not my, but yeah.
Well,
so we have this huge voter group. Let's give them something to get their vote. Let's give them, $100,000 each. It makes sense, right? To get their votes. But it doesn't make sense for a country. Why would you give $100,000 to each member of a voting group, right? It should be illegal, but it's not because who makes laws, right? It's the government. So the system is eroding, and if the maintenance team doesn't go in and fix all the things that have been, degrading the last, 50, 70 years, it will eventually fall.
So if the West doesn't continue to maintain its systems, which you have said, I think correctly, have worked really well for a couple hundred years,
exactly.
They will degrade just like anything else made by human hands.
Yes.
If you